And we're live.
Hey
So
there.
go get the let's go get this live stream thing in a sec. Give it a minute to refresh. Hi everybody. There we are. Oh, we got a big purple logo over our faces.
Where? On
A
Facebook?
blurry purple logo over our face. There. Well, I'm sort of smiling. Share
Mhm.
as me. Am I sharing as me? I guess.
I am. Always shares me.
Yeah, but where does it say who? Oh, yep, you're commenting as Chuck. So therefore, I must be sharing as me. Yep,
Yeah.
there we are. All right, let the floodgates open to
Yeah.
the one person.
So as I was just telling you, a pretty terrible hailstorm came through here yesterday. It was really bad. I saw the video of one of my neighbors shot, and it was fast and furious. It was windy, rainy, and hail going everywhere. I was I was out of town. I was in my mountain house, but I didn't even know it was going on until it already happened. The power was out in a lot of areas at my house for a while. So yeah, there you go.
Here's my little hand holding the
Yeah,
key.
yeah. So yeah, it was something else. I tell you what. But you know what's funny is I kept thinking I know this has happened before, and I've seen hail in 20. I was around 2012. I wasn't living in this house. I was living really down the road.
You don't get hail all that often?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
No, not
you
really.
get it at least once or twice a summer back in Wisconsin.
Well, one time, and I was just telling my dad the story too. In 2005, I had to look it up because I have pictures of Harrison um, at that same day. There's a festival in Rock Hill called Come See Me. It always happens about the same week in April,
Yeah.
and it's like a homecoming, but there's people that come from all over to do the different events, and they have everything from food tents to you name it all week long. There's something they're for 5K. So back the Glenn the Frog is our mascot. And
Hmm.
I'll show you the picture of Glenn the Frog later. But I had a picture of Harrison at the mayor's frog jump contest. They had frogs there. They give the kid one, and they try to get the frog to go down the thing. Well, as we were just wrapping up, it got really cold, and I was like, something's not right. I
Weather's
said,
changing.
we
Yep.
need to go. And for some reason in my head, I clued me in just to go. We got to the car. As soon as we got in, the hail came down. I was like, "Wow, how did I even know?" I mean, I'm rarely ever have seen hail. So last few years,
Well,
huh?
once a year or every other year, we get it here too.
In Phoenix,
Yeah. Little, I mean, just little pea-sized stuff, or maybe
yeah, that
sparkle
that I've
size.
seen before. This is the what
The
I've
big
heard about.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, the stuff I heard about today from this last weekend was bigger than that. So, and I saw a lot of devastation. It reminded me of being when Hugo came through in '89. I think it was '89. Hugo came through, kind of a freak hurricane, just went and destroyed a lot of stuff, including including my dad's car that I had borrowed. A
Nice
tree,
going, son.
yeah. Well, that was kind of the conversation we had. Two big old trees fell on it. Sorry. I,
Good
I just
news, Dad. You get a
I,
new car.
I said, "Hey, Dad, you ever heard of acts of God?"
Like it's like the guy who says, "Can I borrow your car?" He comes back. He says, "I have good news and bad news. The good news is your airbags work."
Yeah, yeah,
All
that's
right.
about right.
Shall we record a podcast?
Sure, let's do that.
All right. Let's hit the record button here. Three, two, one, more or less. Technorama episode 741. Fact, fiction, or final frontier? I love that alliteration. Welcome to
Yeah.
Technorama, the show that takes a lighthearted look at tech, science, sci-fi, and all things geek. If this is your first time joining us, welcome to the show. If you're
Yay.
returning, welcome back to the show. Ooh, that was a tough intro. Hey,
Right.
thanks for giving us your time. My name is Chuck Tomasi from Phoenix, Arizona, and right over there is Craig Stepp. How you doing, Craig?
I'm doing good. Just recovering from the storm I was just talking about in the pre-show.
Hail, hail, the gang's all here.
Yeah.
Something like that. It was a
Yep.
hailstorm, in case you
It
missed
was
it.
yeah, it was a big hailstorm.
You gotta watch the pre-show on the live stream, people. You never know what you're missing there. But hey, that's neither here nor there. We appreciate you giving us your time, whether it's in video form or listening form or right away or later, or we got it all covered for you.
Yeah, we do.
And you've got it covered for us too. We asked you a question last week, so let's roll that.
Ba-dum-ba-ba-dum-ba-dum-ba.
Letters.
Mm,
Oh, we get
mm,
letters.
mm.
We get your letters every day. Mailman, mailman, mail today. Reach right in and pull one out. Those letters, I love those letters. Let's find out what you got to say.
Oh boy!
Mailman, mail today.
Our question of the week for you last week was, what's a movie where the main character just can't get anything right?
We got some interesting answers.
We got some good ones. Lone Guys Night writes in, A Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, our buddy Brian Parker said Indiana Jones.
He gets some things right.
Well, yeah, he gets some things right, but he's kind of making things up as he goes. So yeah,
That's my story of life too. I just make it up as I go.
yeah, that's my whole career.
Mark Kilfoyle writes, Clerks. Wasn't that also a Simon Pegg movie? Was he in that
Simon
one?
Peck. No, he wasn't in that one.
What am I thinking of? Oh, I might be thinking of what he did when he was Shaun of the Dead. He started as
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Actually, they were two that didn't get anything right.
No, not really.
No, not until like the very end, I guess. All right, so I'm gonna let you read Steve London's. Mike
Oh
Mike
my goodness.
Robinson. Mike Robinson says, "Postal, Hell Comes to Frogtown, The Thing, American Werewolf in London, RoboCop, Dragon Slayer. I'm sorry, not Dragon Slayer. Wreck-It Ralph. Yeah, he didn't get a lot of right. And Planet of the Apes.
All right, let me tie into Steve here. He says, "Oh, this is a long list, but a few pop out. Frodo Baggins. He walks to his death without hesitation or
Mhm.
with or out of pure ignorance. The real hero of the story is Sam
Yep.
and Gandalf. He's useless and a total F up, missing out on a few critical moments in the adventure. Missing out. I
Yeah.
don't see much of a choice in that one. He's captured by Saruman and fighting a freaking Balrog, ending up dying and then leveling up and reanimate, and then manage to be the hero.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on Harry Potter. He's a real tool. His friends are the real heroes of the story, and he's just a bait for you know who. And Dumbledore knows this and uses him for it and keeps him in the dark, quote, for his own protection, unquote.
You know,
That's harsh.
the way he's categorizing Gandalf there, it sounds like he's a fair weather friend. He took or not fair weather friend, but he took the shortcut to come to the end of the movie.
He did manage to get captured by Saruman and spend some time up on the roof
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
to butterfly moths.
Yeah. Yeah. While everybody else was trudging through the forest, trying to get to Mordor, he's over there talking to the bugs.
I posted this, but I don't see any responses from my share.
Yeah. Fritz Ulrich Seward says, "Revenge of the Sith."
I got to go back
Yeah.
and watch that.
Yeah, probably. I guess that was. Yeah. Well, who are you talking about? Did the Jedi not get anything right? Was it Anakin?
Stormtroopers. Stormtroopers don't get anything right.
Yeah, they never hit their mark. That's why they don't get it right.
And they always get killed.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right.
There's
Well, there you
another movie in there. Thank you. We're going to send you another question at the end of the show. But I've got a real in-life postcard from
Yeah.
Yorga from Solo. Well, it's an anagram of Solo. It's Oslo.
Oslo. Yeah, don't say Solo. I got one as well. Yeah, it's really cool.
So, yay. Thank you very much, Yorga. And Martine. Martine's on the back as well.
Hey, speaking of postcards, I don't think we talked.
I like the picture. There's this little kid kicking. There's a lady holding a stick with, I don't know, a hat or a boot or something on the end of the stick out in
Right.
front of her at about head height, and this kid is trying to kick it. I don't know if you have to keep your foot on the ground, if you're allowed to leave the ground, but he's doing a high kick over his head. So
Okay.
pretty impressive. Reminds me of things we used to do with karate, and they called it focus paper. You know what the focus paper was?
You had to
It was
focus on it.
old X-rays of like from the veterinarian clinic. So like, I'm kicking a cat's ribs.
I thought you were going to say X-rays of broken bones.
It made a great sound when you do a
Twink.
spin kick
Yeah.
and you hear that snap of the plastic paper,
Oh,
that
true.
poly whatever Macaulay, and it goes crack. It was really fun.
Hey, now speaking of postcards,
Yes.
I sent you one from Germany. It was at early December of last year.
Is
And
that
when
how
did-
long ago it was? I think it came in late March.
Yeah, it came in just a few weeks ago, a few weeks ago, and I was like, "Wow, it took a long time to get here."
Sitting somewhere.
Yeah,
The AliExpress stuff comes from China faster than that.
right. Well, I don't know. I sent you and Yorga one because Yorga's pretty good about sending. You are too, but sending cards when y'all travel, and so I've been trying to do the same. I'm not as faithful with it as I should, but I try. And then you never said anything. I went, well, I know I sent it. So, oops. Oh well. I
We
mean,
got it.
yeah.
Thank
that's
you.
pretty- You're welcome.
Let's see. Are we going international anywhere anytime soon? No. Oh, wait. We're going to Mexico in October. So I'll try to get you one from
Wow,
there.
you know, a lot of people are going to Mexico.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard a lot of people going to Mexico for vacation. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It's a nice place to go.
Mhm.
Anyway, hey, Drew. Wow. Drew is hanging out in the early morning hours of just after 6 a.m. No, wait. He's in Europe. I was thinking he was in India. My mistake. Drew is
He says perks of being in India, you can attend Technorama. So,
Oh, okay. So it
Oh,
would
he's
be
in-
like we in the morning in
There you go.
India. I mean, we a little later in the morning.
yeah.
So 6:15-ish, if my clock is about right, rather than 2 a.m.
hmm Yeah.
in London or Netherlands or wherever he was.
Well, wait
Anyway, I think he was in
wait
London.
till daylight savings time is over.
I think he's gone. We don't have any viewers watching right now. He just popped in, said hi, and boogied.
He went to go get his coffee.
He fell asleep watching another exciting episode of Technorama.
Yeah. Good luck, guys.
Timed out. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get in with the history thing then.
All
Should
right.
be right there. There it is. On this day in history for April 24th, 2024. So it's 42424.
Yeah.
Unlike the Chicago song 254624.
That's not the right song, I don't think.
Somebody, when I was a DJ at the Roller, somebody requested that way. And I had to decipher that. Will you play 254624? Is all digits. Like, you mean 25 or 624?
Yeah. You're close,
Anyway.
but
It's the 115th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar. There are 251 days remaining in the year. It was on this date in 1704. 1704. Let's see. 1701 was a hard drive error.
1701 is the Enterprise.
1701 was a hard drive error and the Enterprise. The first regular newspaper in British colonial America, the Boston News Letter. That's news-letter. I picture this pamphlet, piece of paper.
Yeah. They're just handing out pamphlets on the side of the road.
It was published.
Yeah. Oh, that's my cue. So on April 24th, 1800, the United States Library of Congress was established when President John Adams signed legislation to appropriate $5,000, breaking the bank there, to purchase such books as may be necessary for the use of Congress.
Congress meant back then.
Yeah.
Meant
You know
get
what,
together and do stuff.
They
Not
spent
like it is
$5,000 on books, and I bet they didn't read one.
$5,000. You can get 3 books at your college library now.
Yeah, one instructional book.
Also, on April 24th, 1885, American sharpshooter Henry Oakley was hired by Nate Salisbury to be part of Buffalo Bill's Wild West.
Yes. And it was also 129 years ago today that Joshua Slocum, the first person to sail single-handedly around the world, set sail for Boston, Massachusetts. Around the world, and that's where you go? Oh,
No,
from?
that's where he sailed
Oh,
from.
that's where I'm from. Okay. I was just like, aboard the sloop Spray.
Yes, sloop was a kind of sailboat.
I know.
April 24th, 1914, the Frank Hertz experiment, a pillar of quantum mechanics, was presented to the German Physical Society.
Yes, and this is a story I like. I'm interested in. I'm always interested in. I got the book back there. Ernest Shackleton and the 5 men of the Imperial Transantarctic expedition launched a lifeboat from an uninhabited elephant island in South Ocean to organize a rescue for the crew of the sunken Endurance on this date in 1916.
It was on this date in 1967 that cosmonaut Vladimir Komarov died in Soyuz 1 when its parachute fails to open.
Oh,
He was
no.
the first human to die during a space mission. Not died on the ground or during launch or anything, in space.
Wow. And it was also on this date in 1990 that the Hubble Space Telescope is launched from the Space Shuttle Discovery on mission STS-31.
And it was 13 years ago today that WikiLeaks started publishing the Guantanamo Bay files leak.
About 13 years ago.
Happy birthday goes out of the state to English clergyman and engineer, invented the power loom, Edmund Loom. No, Edmund Power. Edmund Cartwright. That was his name. Edmund Cartwright. I had it right here. Born on this date in 1743.
And Gideon Sundbach, the Swedish American engineer and businessman, developed the zipper. Whew. Good thing our flies would be
Carnival ride
open.
that goes around and around?
Hey, that's the zipper. No, our flies would just be open all the time now.
Oh, it'd be
Was born 144 years ago today.
you'd be buttoning your pants and jacket and everything else.
Just Velcro.
Well, Velcro came along later. Born April
know.
24th, 1899, Russian-American mathematician and academic Oscar Zariski.
And David Blackwell, the American mathematician and academic, was born 105 years ago today.
Happy birthday on April 24th, 1930 to American actor, director, and producer Richard Donner.
What movie did he produce?
Lots. He did Superman, Superman 2, Lethal Weapon, many movies.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon. And an Australian English guitarist and composer John Williams is 83 today.
That John Williams?
That John Williams.
Also turning 82 today is American singer, actress, activist, and producer Barbara Streisand.
And last but not least, American actor Jack Quaid was born on this date in 1992.
He's only 32.
Boimler.
Boimler.
Yeah.
Listener birthdays this week include our own Steve London on April 26th,
Yay.
along with Frank Lopez.
Hey, happy birthday.
Three birthdays on the 29th. Shepherd Tom from Outside the Known Universe, Timothy Carr, and Droove. The guy
There.
was just on there. Maybe he came back. Happy
You get-
birthday, Droove.
Yeah, the drive-by commenter. He just drove off.
The Droove by.
Yeah, drove by. he drew
just
by.
He just drove right by our podcast. And April 30th, longtime listener to the show, Julio from Tijuana. That's the way it was on this day in history for April 24th, 2024. I missed a date right on the end of that thing. Got it. If you want to be on the birthday calendar, well, you head on over to chuckchat.com/birthday, like it says on the bottom of the screen, or it will as soon as Craig gets on the list,
All
on
right.
the buttons. chuckchat.com/birthday, and put your name on there. We'll give you a shout out at the appropriate time of year. There we go. And right in time with the music, including all our useless banter.
Yeah.
I didn't ask if we'll see Droove at Knowledge.
Oh, I was just wondering the same thing.
He was there last year.
By the way,
yes.
anytime I see the name Julio,
Yes.
do you know what comes to mind?
Julio Iglesias?
No. Fred Sanford.
Oh, Julio?
Julio.
No, he called him Julio.
Julio. I can't tell him Julio.
What you talking about, Julio?
That's
I don't want none of your refried beans.
right. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
So last night we were talking with some friends, coworkers actually,
Mhm. Yep.
about your death row meal. What would you eat if you were on death row and you could eat anything and not have any guilt about it? What would you get?
Are you asking me now?
Yeah.
Um, it's funny because you asked this because I just watched. There's a YouTube channel called Mythical Kitchen,
Yes.
and they do that. They actually talk about what is your what's your deathbed your final meal.
Not deathbed, death
No,
row. Like
no,
you're
well,
gonna
death
get
row.
lit up on the electric chair or something.
Right, right. Well,
And
I'm just
then maybe
saying that
when
I
the
was.
conversation started, it's a great icebreaker, by the way. I'm gonna start using this like with strangers on airplanes and whatnot.
Yeah. Um, how many courses do I get?
However much you can eat.
Nah, how much I can eat?
Do you want to just tie into a whole cheesecake? Or
You know,
do you want to get stupid drunk so you don't feel anything? What's
no.
your death row meal?
Well, I think I guess some alcohol could be
Right? You
in
don't have to
there
suffer
because
a hangover.
yeah. Yeah. um, the first thing that comes to mind had to be a really good cheeseburger or some kind of hamburger cheeseburger thing.
Okay.
Um,
Not
but
a
I think
filet
if a
mignon,
cheeseburger, huh?
not a filet mignon, a surf and turf with lobster tail or something.
See, oh well, yeah, but if you get a good burger, I would almost say that can really top just about anything if it's a really good burger.
Okay.
Would you agree?
Or barbecue, some really good ribs.
Um, a good pulled pork. Pulled pork is one of my
Right.
favorite things.
Right.
So a pulled pork burger, a burger with pulled pork on it. That would be a good start. I'd have to think about the whole meal, but that would be the start.
Some nice
Um,
roasted corn on the cob.
I like roasted corn on the cob. All right.
Okay.
Actually, just roasted corn in general would be good. Um, gosh, I'd have to think about that pretty hard.
All right. I was thinking more from the I was thinking more of a vengeance thing. See, my coworker said I'd eat a whole bunch of beans. That way, when they fry me in the electric chair,
God,
and
hey,
I went,
there'd be
"Oh, you're
hey,
onto
wait,
something." So
wait a
my
minute. So there
my
would be refried beans.
my 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 response to that was, "Fine, I'm going to eat a whole bunch of unpopped popcorn kernels." That way, when they start up the electric chair,
What
you
the
just
hell's going on?
got popcorn going from every orifice.
Yeah, what's going on? Stop it!
Hey, is this a snack?
Oh my
Dinner and
gosh.
a show.
I don't know. I'd have to think about that pretty hard. I'd like a nice Dunkel Hefe beer. I like a good dark wheat beer or wheat beer in general. That's actually I'd probably go for a wheat beer because that is one of my favorites. Um, so that'd be included there. I'm not big on sweets, but lemon meringue pie is my favorite.
Mhm.
I have that on my birthday each year.
This is
So
nowhere on our agenda, people. I just came up with this. This
yeah, I
this
don't know.
showed
What
up.
about you? So what did you say?
I said the unpopped popcorn kernels.
That's it.
That's my death row meal. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go out
So
with a bang, I always say.
there you go. So we got a comment here. So Jared says we got a piece of the death row meal, McDonald's fries, Wendy's Baconator, and an Oreo Blizzard from for dessert. Excuse me.
I'm onto that. Yeah. Or oh man. There are some good little restaurants that you could just go, I want the sandwich from there and the potato
Mhm.
fries or potato olays or they're from there. Just there's some good stuff you could just pick and choose.
Yeah, it could be a good steak, but a burger, a really well done burger.
What's one of those meals that you have to order like 3 weeks in advance? Get that. So your
Hello
senses
Fresh.
are muted.
Hello Fresh.
Sorry, we can't kill you tonight
Get some
because
black
your
truffles
meal
and
won't be here for 2 weeks.
yeah, I want a burger with some black truffle on there. I don't know. I'd have to think about that pretty hard. Actually, I was thinking about that because the episode I saw had Gordon Ramsay on it. He had a he had everything from a typical English breakfast, excuse me.
Yeah.
Um, with the beans and his eggs and everything. And he had a burger from In-N-Out Burger, animal style.
I don't know if I'd take that. It's good, but I don't
In-N-Out Burger's good. I forget all the other stuff. Oh, the dessert was like one of those chocolate lava cakes.
Oh, yeah.
Those are pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. There's a dessert at Duke's on Maui that yeah.
Hey, wait, that's
Or
not where you want a lava cake.
Mama's Fish
Oh,
House has some good
yeah.
desserts too. Oh, the food at Mama's Fish House. Or
Mm.
some of the food in Iceland was great. Anyway, let's move on. We got a podcast to do.
Oh,
What
yeah,
is the news? So random.
Good news, everyone!
All right, NASA's Juno probe was actually, going around Jupiter, and it made a swing out and took a pass by Io, and got some amazing images. Let me see if I can throw one up here for our video viewers, because this is pretty dang cool.
Here was a image of a lava lake, I believe they said.
Speaking of lava cake,
Yeah. Lava lake, not cake.
why not?
Yeah.
Let's get
Um,
that up there. There we go.
yeah,
It kind of looks like our moon, only a lot more colorful.
it does look more colorful. I wonder if that's actual color.
They may have.
Um, I don't. Sometimes they'll mention that it's artificial if they do. So maybe it's not. Okay.
Oh, neat stuff.
Yeah.
So nice to know that it's still out there. Made a bunch of flybys. They got, what did they say? They got within 67 kilometers or something of the moon. It was pretty close.
Yeah, it was pretty close. In space terms, it is.
No, Juno came within 930 miles or 1,500 kilometers of Io's rolling surface during 2 flybys, which occurred in December 2023 and February 2024. Mission team members processed the encounter data in a flyover animation, which provides a dazzling view. Where's the flyover animation in this article?
There was a video for that.
I didn't see the video. I only saw the still.
Oh,
Do you want to subscribe to space.com? No, not right now. Thanks.
maybe later.
Okay. While that was happening, we also had to say goodbye to the Boston Dynamics Atlas robot. You've probably seen videos of this thing doing the
Well, we talked
parkour.
about it.
Oh, we've talked about Boston Dynamics robots a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So they put together a video, kind of a farewell retirement video. He's only been
almost-
up for 11 years.
It was almost like a goof video, like a blooper reel or something. Because you could see there were some videos where it fall over and then you see hydraulic fluid spraying and
I thought it was interesting if it can recognize if it has fallen or gotten in an accident. It pulls its limbs in,
Mhm.
probably so it doesn't break anything.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you're
maybe.
rolling down a hill, you're going to rip an arm off.
Yeah. But it was really impressive. I know some of the things that they did with it were orchestrated, or I guess where they programmed it.
Like 2 of them dancing with the dancing dog.
Yeah, or they were jumping, or it was doing, remember
In
the whole
unison.
video we talked
Yeah.
about where it was doing the little course where it would go through a tool bag up to the guy and then it would go do a backflip.
Yep.
It's impressive. It's really impressive. So they're retiring it. And
And
if
they're
you look
coming
at
out with
hey,
Atlas number 2.
yeah, so that's the
Is
next article we
A
were
little
throwing in
more
there.
creepy when you see it get up off the floor. Because
It was creepy like a horror movie kind of thing,
it's
but it
laying
was
back,
impressive.
bends at the waist so that the legs go up and the feet land about at the shoulders. So now it's flat on its back with its feet between its armpits, and then somehow manages to just stand straight
Yeah,
up because
the
it
legs
doesn't have-
roll,
yeah.
roll in, and it stands up. Then not only that, but it starts
Starts
walking.
backwards towards the camera and
And
then turns around
Yeah, and seamlessly, it just turns around.
at the waist.
Yeah, it looks like almost like it was a Terminator.
That's
Almost
the
like the
creepy
lick.
part.
Yeah, but it was now if it turned around and had a human face.
No, it just has like a coffee
Yeah.
can on its as a head
That light
looking at
ring.
you
Yeah,
with a light ring on the end.
but look how impressive that thing was, and it was fluid and walking when it walked off camera. It was like amazing to see it. I want to see some more. So go
All
check
right.
out the video if you hadn't seen it. It is, like I said, it's super impressive, and I'm curious to see what they do with this.
You can find that at chuckchat.com/technorama. Episode 741. We'll have show notes on there, and we'll also have them probably in your podcatching client as well. See if you can find it in there if you've got show notes coming through. All
Yeah.
right. Remember we've talked, was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
It was about 2 weeks ago, so this is more of a follow-up for us.
This is a follow-up. The
Mhm.
Mr. Otoro in Florida, who had the space junk crash into his house while he wasn't there. His son's sitting there jamming out, playing video games, and all of a sudden, crash!
Yeah. "I didn't do it, Dad. I didn't do it."
Comes a cylindrical object, a little longer and a little narrower than a soup can,
Mhm.
weighing, what did they say, about 10 pounds? It was not light, and he said, "I
Yeah.
think this came from the space station." And he asked NASA, they took it away, they did some analysis and said, "Yes, yes, it did." And while his house insurance is going to pay for the damages, there's other claims that he wants to make, but they are in brand new territory as far as legal concerns. No
Uh-oh.
one's ever had one of these before.
Mhm. Yep, this ought to be interesting to hear about. Wait, did they ever return the thing to him?
I
He
don't know.
asked for
They
it.
didn't say if he got it back.
Okay, because I know he had asked if he could have it.
Right. I just want my souvenir back.
Yeah. My radiation drenched souvenir.
They said it wasn't, they got rid of a pallet of 9 lithium ion batteries
Mhm.
and just sort of let him go off the ISS on this special pallet. He didn't get hit by one of the batteries. He got hit by part of the pallet, like a stanchion that holds the thing together.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. Most of it either fell into the Gulf of Mexico or burned up, but not that piece that he got.
And there's pictures in this article from where it entered the house, and you can see it hit the floor pretty good too.
When the astronauts come back, I'd ask them to sign it. That'll increase its value.
Yeah.
See if you can get
Now,
it in the Smithsonian.
by the way, when you look at the picture for the robotic arms dropping off or letting go the cargo pallet that they had,
Yes.
to me that seems
That's a little large.
a little large and irresponsible to just drop it off like that. Oh, let's hope that it burns up in the space.
It
Or in
should.
the atmosphere, excuse me.
And it shouldn't hit anybody. The Earth's 3/4 water, so yeah, we got a good chance it won't hit anybody.
Yeah, that just seems a little irresponsible to do that. Would you agree with that?
I would agree. I think I said that before. It just seemed strange that there wasn't a better approach.
Maybe maybe if they just put the batteries out in space one by one instead of a big old pallet.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. You know, I have to carve up my cardboard boxes before I put them in the wheelie bin.
Yeah. You should see my recycling. I do a better job than they do.
To rinse out every bottle.
Yeah.
What did you do to those batteries?
Yeah. I mean, something that big, it could re-enter, and then whatever's in the middle could potentially uh
Remain solid.
survive
Right.
because it's so big. I mean, come
Yeah.
on.
Breaking up into smaller chunks seem to make more sense. Maybe they'll put that on the bottom of the thing, with the little triangular arrow thing. Number
Yeah.
2.
Like you said, have them rinse their recycles before they send it back to re-entry.
Yep. And I heard this story on somewhere else. The next story about the computer scientist who won the Turing Award
Yeah.
for randomness. He's been doing this for quite a while. He won the Abel Prize in 2021, which is also another prestigious thing. The Turing Award is like the Nobel Prize of computer science. In fact, in the interview that they were talking about, that's in this article, they mentioned that you may be a candidate for a future Nobel Prize. This guy's been studying. He's a mathematician. They asked him, "Are you a mathematician or are you a computer scientist?" He said, "Well, I wanted to be a mathematician, but then I discovered, that computer science and mathematics are very close, and I'm solving mathematical problems with computers. So, it's really sort of a gray area." And I
Hmm.
noticed that in college because all of our computer science courses were taught by the math department. And that's when I went, "Oh, this kind of makes sense."
Yeah, of course. Now this wasn't this I was trying to remember if this was the same guy we talked about a few weeks ago.
It might be. That might be why it sounds so familiar. Avi Wigderson
Yeah.
is his name.
Yeah, I think it may be. Because when I saw this article again, I went, "Is that the same guy?" I should have looked it up, but
Yep.
this is a little follow up because he actually won the award. I don't think I'm
Yep.
trying to remember if you talked about him winning the award, but
Right.
still, you
I
know.
I was totally unaware that there were such awards.
Oh, would you apply? Would you have applied?
Oh, my ship has sailed a long time ago.
Well, we're
What are they
pretty
going to
random.
give me an award for? Make a karaoke app on ServiceNow?
Yeah, we're pretty random.
This show is random.
Yes.
I don't think that qualifies us for anything.
Does
It's
it? Okay.
how random is it? It's so random. We're going to give a shout out to the chat room at this point.
Oh,
We've
look at
got Jared, Dhruv, and a few others out there. Oh, someone even gave us an emoji. They're laughing.
Yeah.
That's the right direction.
Wow. Jared was laughing about something. We're doing something right.
Tricks. Yeah, that's better than that angry emoji we got 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. What was that about?
I don't know. But, that was an upgrade from the poop.
Wasn't it? Okay.
Wait, how do you stack rank these things? Is poop above angry emoji?
I guess it depends on the context, right?
Hmm.
Would you agree?
Maybe we should launch a study on that. Get a government grant to go study emojis. That went over well. Let's move on to the
No, you got
remember
me
when.
thinking. No, you got me thinking.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
You can tell when the show stops, Craig's thinking.
Hey, Chuck, I've got a great idea.
Yeah, no, that's not how it goes. Well, we had a remember when article from way back. We should almost put this in the topic as Trek. When
Yeah.
journalists kept ruining Spock's death in Star Trek II:
Hey.
The Wrath of Khan.
Like the internet's not bad enough in itself. Now we had,
Check out this picture of Shatner.
yeah, hey, baby.
Yeah.
Look at that rug. I mean, hair.
Let's see. He was about 30 something when he was filming Star Trek. So this is about 20 years later. So he's either at or around 50 in this picture.
Right.
So you can tell by the wrinkles in the face.
The crow's feet.
Yep. I'm right there with you, buddy.
Yeah.
He's doing pretty good for 50-ish. So the issue is that I don't know why I scrolled on the screen. Not much to look at there. The issue was that back in 1982, when they showed the movie, they actually were giving interviews like this one, and they were kind of spoiling it. This is obviously before the days of the internet.
Yeah.
Printed publications were saying, oh, and by the way, Leonard Nimoy, who plays Spock, the green-blooded Vulcan, he dies. Like, that's kind of the whole
Yeah.
know,
That's a big
lead up
point.
to the big shock moment at the end of the movie. Yeah, spoiler alert in case you weren't here 42 years ago.
Well, luckily, that was not spoiled on me.
No, it was not on me either.
Yeah, it was a total shock when I saw the movie. I actually went and saw it with my mom, and she was crying because
I did not read Star Week magazine or whatever the San Francisco publication was that was in there that they mentioned.
Man, but it said Gene Roddenberry himself leaked the news of Spock's fate.
Well, Gene might have had a chip on his shoulder because he was sort of not in charge of that project.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
But
But I,
Thought that was fascinating. That was alerts back then.
the other day, I rode through the parking lot of my junior high school where I was at, and I was on the side of the building that this
Did they welcome you back?
Yeah, they with open arms. No, so as I was pulling through, I saw the classroom. I saw the window for the classroom. The building's not changed, of course. I saw the window from the classroom, and I immediately went back to the same in that room where that window was at, where the kid told me that Darth Vader was Luke's dad. I'm still mad about that. Before I got a chance to go see the movie, he spoiled it for me.
Let it go, Craig. Let it go.
That was a pretty big spoiler.
Let it go.
Almost as much as Spock died.
And then the Enterprise got burned up.
What? When did that happen?
Let it go. Which time?
Which time?
I mean, how many
been
Enterprises have they crashed or
I think
burned?
there's been like 4 of them that burned and died. I don't know. But yeah, that was funny. I immediately went back. I could still see that kid's face telling me that. I'm like, should have punched the little kid.
Well, it's not too late to punch him.
I don't know. I don't remember his name.
No. Then you have no excuse.
Ah,
Greg's
man.
not bitter.
Good
We're
times.
not bitter either. We're going to thank our patrons. Whoops. Somehow I tapped the wrong button at the same time.
That's right.
There we are. Patron thank you time.
I'm gonna wipe my eyes because I've been laughing too hard.
That's one of us. Thank you to Alexis Duran, Amber Elstad, Amy Bowen, Abner Braverman, Ben Vaughn, Brian Brown. Thank you, Chris Martinez, Chris MC, Dan D. Man Coyer, Dean Jensen, Denise Inglis, Gary Lindros, John Clifford, John Noble, Yorga Schrauen, Blank Space here, Kyle Nishioka. Somebody's actually going to sign up and with a name like that too.
Yeah.
Leon, Mark Kilfoyle, Brad Miller, Mike Wills, Saturday Morning Media, Steve Weshy, Steve Cody, Steve Therian, Steve Webb, Steve London, and Tim Cook. One of these days, I'm going to get that in one breath. Thank you all very much for your contributions to keep this show running, offset the costs of keeping the live stream going, the audio, the video, everything that it takes to put together this delicious podcast. Delicious podcast.
Forbidden podcast.
We got you covered. You got us covered. That's the way they go. All these people went over to patreon.com/Technorama podcast. For as little as $1 show, they can keep it going. If there's a week where we're not producing a show, they don't pay. That's the cool part.
That's right.
And they get a special sort of behind the scenes episode where Craig and I just kick back and chat. And they often get a postcard
Yeah.
that Yorga started the tradition.
So Yorga will personally send you a postcard.
From wherever he goes,
Yeah.
we'll send him all your addresses.
We're
I hope
recruiting
you
him now. Yeah.
Yeah, he's our press agent.
That's right.
And what else do we get them? T-shirts. There's a T-shirt level if you want to up level to that, or if you're at the entry level, you can up level. Never too late to do that. We appreciate it. That the money goes straight into the PayPal account to pay for all this. Alphonic, the software we use to process the audio on this show and make transcripts and all that good stuff.
Now you can. I had a $100 level. If you want to sponsor us, you can become an exclusive sponsor for an entire episode. You will own us to be your own personal sponsor bot. Sponsor? Did I write that?
Yes, a very, very long time ago.
I don't even remember.
It's so bad, nobody's used it yet.
Yeah, we will work with you and represent your product and service. So,
within reason, as long as it's legal. All right, moving on to the media.
That's a gray area. That's a gray area.
Well, that's good because the button I just pushed is also gray.
Welcome to Blockhead Video. Hey, where can I find some good information about music and TV and videos and things? Over here, in the media corner.
Kaboom! Well, according to this story, Seth MacFarlane and Martin Scorsese are going to be teaming up to do some restoration of vintage animated movies.
Yes.
I love this idea because there's been projects where we're restoring old films. And if you don't store them properly, the celluloid starts to deteriorate. They have many of these in old salt mines because the salt acts as a desiccant, keeps the air nice and dry, the perfect humidity, perfect temperature. At some point, you're going to have to digitize these things, boys, because that's not even going to last forever.
Mm-hmm.
But they're restoring movies like, where's the list? Coco's Tattoo from 1928, Little Nobody from 1935, Little Stranger, Greedy Humpty Dumpty, which sounds more like it could be a movie title today. Peeping Penguins, that sounds like a porno flick, but The Fresh Vegetable Mystery. Again, my mind is going to some really dirty places. So Does an Automobile from 1939. Also premiering are The Three Bears, a 1939 Terry tune directed by Manny Davis, and Two Gun Rusty, a George Pal puppet tune from 1944. So 20s, 30s, 40s. The image they have here.
Wait a minute. Yeah. There was also some animated films. I'm not sure if you name these off. They were from Max and Dave Fleischer, who did Betty Boop and did you say Coco the Clown?
Yeah. Well, first one, look at the difference in these things.
That's amazing.
If you're watching on the video, you'll see it right away. But if you're listening, the left-hand image is kind of a green washed out tint, like greenish grayish.
Yeah.
The
so colors are all muted.
All the blues are gone.
Mm-hmm.
There's hardly any reds or pinks. But the restored image on the right is just vibrant. You'd swear they drew this thing yesterday.
Yeah.
So
I love
very
those old. I love those old animated films. I'm glad they're getting some attention.
where the people are bouncing up and down.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Hey, I can whistle Steamboat Willie now that it's out of the copyright.
You can. Yeah. We can't get busted for that.
Yay! Let's use that as a theme in our show somewhere, just to stick it in their face.
That's right.
You can't get me.
I'd like to see some of these. I don't restored
I
ones.
would
I don't
too.
know.
Exactly. I'm wondering where they're going to post them, where they'll be available.
Yeah. I don't know.
Coming to theaters near you. All right, Geek Library time. No, pass
No,
me
pass
the
the
remote.
remote.
Pass the remote. There we go.
Here. Give it here. Give it here. Yeah.
Okay. I think I may have mentioned this last week because I was partly done watching it. Amadeus, one of my favorite.
Yeah. You
movies.
mentioned that, I think, last week. Yeah.
Well, I finished watching it, and what I didn't, I was waiting to see where are the new scenes. This is the director's cut on Netflix.
Okay.
Man, oh man, they cut out some pretty dark stuff. It changed
Really?
the whole tone of the movie, but it explained one scene much better. So when Stanzi, Amadeus's wife, goes to Salieri to show him some of his work and say, "Hey, he's really got to get this appointment to the emperor because we're kind of broke and he needs the money." And Salieri opens up his portfolio and he's reading the music, and you hear the music playing in the background, and he's just stunned and drops the papers to the floor. And she says, like, "Is it not good?" I'm trying to remember how the original scene went, but I think she's just kind of dismissed at that point. What happens in the director's cut is he says, "If you really want this job, come back tonight alone." She says, "I'm afraid I can't do that." She says, "Well, there's a price you're going to have to pay if he wants this appointment. I'm a married woman. How badly does you want this job?"
Yeah.
She comes back and starts taking her clothes off.
Oh no.
Like, this wasn't in the movie.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do anything. He just, dismisses her. It tells the servant man, he says, "Show her out." And
Yeah.
she's really upset. And later she's crying, but doesn't tell Mozart why she's crying so badly. She's ashamed and whatnot. Well,
Sure.
later in the movie, when Mozart's on his deathbed and they're working together to finish up the
Yeah.
Requiem, she comes in because she returns home. She comes in and sees him sleeping in their son's little bed. And she's like, "What are you doing here?" It explains why she's so upset. She really has a hatred of him because he humiliated her.
Right.
So it puts that in a better context. Like, oh, that's why she doesn't like him very much. It's not
I see.
just because he's an ugly man.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah, F. Murray
Oh.
Abraham does a wonderful job.
He was great in that movie, wasn't he?
Yeah, and you know, Tim or Tom? Oh, now my favorite movie. And I can't remember the actor's name. Tom Hulse? Tim Hulse. What is his name? He was in Animal House too. I just said it the other day.
Oh, I don't remember.
Anyway, he does a great job. He's certainly changed. If you look at his IMDb picture now, he's an old man with gray beard. And like he kind
It
of
happens.
he's kind of like Mark Hamill. Like you remember the young Mark Hamill, and then you look at the old Mark Hamill and go, if I try real hard, I can make that look like the same person.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, when Mark Hamill doesn't have a beard, he
the
does look similar, but yeah.
the music in this movie is timeless. You know what else I realized? This
What's that?
was like way ahead of its time. This was very similar to Bohemian Rhapsody or Rocket Man, where
Right.
they're using the music as a story for
Oh, sure.
sort of what their life was. It's
Mhm.
not meant to be a documentary. There's no historical facts that say, oh, Salieri worked Mozart to death and that's why he died. But it's a fun story to go. Well, fun in a dark sense, but uh, it's
Fun
a
for the whole
story that
family.
takes you there, and they weave the music in, and they talk about his contemporaries. And I realized, wow, they were way ahead of their time. I think this is one of the first when you think about Elvis and Ray and
Oh,
Bohemian Rhapsody and Rocket Man and all the ones they've been doing in the last 10 years or so. Like, this thing was 40 years ago almost.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
A classic movie.
So, I love it.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of classic, I watched Conan O'Brien Must Go, which is on Max.
Mm.
And I don't know if you've seen any of his episodes he did before during his I guess it was his late night thing. He did the Conan O'Brien or Conan Without Borders, where
Mhm.
he went and traveled somewhere and he was just made a buffoon of himself as he was doing the traveling, with other people, doing stupid things, which was it was fun, to watch. Well, Conan O'Brien Must Go is the same thing. He went to let's see, he went to Norway, Argentina, um, what were the other two? Oh,
It kind of sounds like that show with the
can't-
British guy and his dad that
a
went all over
little,
the world.
yeah, a little bit like that. But I got to tell you, I really enjoyed it. I love Conan O'Brien. I love his sense of humor, and watching this was a lot of fun. Uh, so I can totally recommend it. The one in Norway was hilarious. He went to this little. You can see clips of this online. It's not really spoiling anything. He went to this Viking village where people do Viking things. Like they're all, and he comes walking out with this big orange beard. You
Okay.
know, and they they changed his voice. He's like, "I'm Conan the Red," and he starts talking. And then the guy doesn't look like he's intimidated. He goes, "Am I doing this wrong?" He changes his voice back. but it was some of the places were beautiful. Oh, he went to Thailand. That was the other one. And oh, what was the last one? Thailand. I don't remember. Anyway, so Argentina one was funny as well. I'll go watch them. There's only 4 episodes, and hopefully they make some more because I'd like to see it.
Fun.
Yeah,
All right. I don't have Max, so I'm not going to be able to watch that anytime soon.
yeah.
I did watch another show on Netflix, but I did not get through it. It was one of those where I watched 6 out of the 8 when I've had enough.
You're right. Okay.
Called American Conspiracy: The Octopus Murders.
All
Starts
right.
out as this reporter that's investigating a story about a software company back in the early 80s that
Oh, I
wrote
think I did see
the
this pop up, and I thought about watching this as well.
yeah, it started out as, "Hey, we sold our software to the Department of Justice. They didn't pay their bill, and now we went bankrupt, and we're trying to get a settlement on this."
Hmm.
And everywhere we turn, it gets wrong. But the reporter is digging in further and further, and he's unweaving this web of crime throughout government, and he was eventually killed, but they don't know who. So now there's this other reporter. This is where the story is actually taking place. They're following around the modern day reporters, including one of his key informants, who's a very, very smart guy who was put in prison for meth charges for like
Wow.
25 years, which was extremely extreme.
Wow.
And the guy sounds like a raving lunatic until they start following up on some of his claims, and some of his claims are downright true. He's going, "Wow, when you sound like a lunatic, it could be, and it comes true. You must be a genius." Um, but there got to be a point where I went, "All right, this is starting to sound really far fetched, and they're just leading us on and on and on, and I don't think there's ever going to be a resolution to this thing." So I quit. So I bowed out of that one.
I've
But
done that on a couple of shows. I'm like, okay, I think I got it.
it's just a little too much.
Yeah.
I did put a number of other things in the Geek Library. If you want to look through the show notes, there's
Yeah.
Mysteries of North America's Great Lakes, how they were formed. I was mostly in to find out some scientist names so I could ask them my question of a lifetime. If the Laurentide ice sheet covered most of North America, and
Hmm.
it's reported or suspected or theorized to have gouged out the Great Lakes and made these scars on the rocks, how did it move? When you think of a glacier on top of a hill in Iceland, it snows, the weight accumulates, gravity takes over, and it starts flowing downhill.
Hmm.
It's not downhill from Canada to Chicago. How did that thing move?
Well, hey, I don't know
And
the
it's
whole
not,
answer to. I mean, I don't know the answer to that, but
I want to
there's
know
not many river. There's only one river that I know of that actually goes north.
the Nile.
No, it's the new river in Virginia.
There's lots of rivers. They all go downhill.
I'm just saying. No, oh, downhill. I was just saying there's only one that goes north.
No, not
No, they're
necessarily. The St. Lawrence Seaway goes northeast, but every river must flow downhill. That was a trick question on one of my science tests in college.
well, yeah, water only goes to the lowest level it can go.
But how did the ice flow? How did the ice move across the land? That's what I want to know. I don't know if anybody has an answer, but I'm going to call up some of these people and go, "Hey,
I'd imagine
you're
part
a
of the
glacial scientist, geologist person."
yeah.
So anyway, that
Hey,
was a fun
you
one.
need to call in a Dr. Carl.
There's another video from our new friend Kari over in the UK, the teenage girl that's doing things with 3D printers and circuit
Yes.
boards and whatnot. She said how to design and print your own 8-bit gaming figures.
I did I saw that pop up today, I think.
There's another one that a friend of mine sent that has sound bites from what's the artist's name? Poco, something with Data and Picard. Fun. And the birth of sequel and relational databases, which is fascinating if you've ever done SQL, structured query language.
Yes.
What were the predecessors to that? What were the benefits and why did they come up
Oh,
with this one?
I
So
may have to check that out.
yeah, I
Yeah.
thought you'd be interested in that one. So it's not
Yeah.
too long, 15, 20 minutes. So that's what I threw into the Geek Library. It's what I watched that I thought people might find interesting, but we didn't have a chance to cover it all.
Now, I will say this to our listeners. I'm uh looking to revamp my subscriptions on YouTube.
Yes.
I've a lot of them it's pretty bad when like a new phone comes out and the first 5 videos on there is about the phone that just came out. I'm
Yep.
like, I don't need to see all that. I want to see I like to see good tech reviewers. Um, I want some more informative stuff like you're talking about. So if you have some suggestions for channels to go check out, please let me know. I'm about to I really unsubscribed to about everything and start over, to be honest with you.
I got a ton of I stopped notifications on a lot of my channels because it was just
Oh, I don't do
draining my
that.
phone during the day. I
I
like
don't
to
do
see
that.
some of them. I like the electronics ones. Like, are there any new gadgets? Are there any new things I should know about in terms of microcontrollers or Raspberry Pis or
Yeah.
um, there's a couple of them like It's History that I like to watch. Like, hey,
Yes.
he comes out
Yeah.
with one or two a month about
Yeah.
this closed down subway station or this town that's falling into the ocean or just there's some interesting
Well,
stuff that he puts out.
well, look, I've got 100. I've got 177 subscriptions in my YouTube
I've got about
page.
that many as well. They kind of
Yeah,
crept up.
but there's a lot of them. Now, there's some good tech reviewers I like because they review lots of different things.
Yep.
But it's pretty bad when, like I said, a phone comes out and I got the first 5 videos when the NDA breaks and they can talk about it. It's all of a sudden I see it across the thing. I'm like, I
Jerry
don't need
says
all that.
notification management, an art or a science?
Both.
Science.
Yeah, it's a little science. I don't use notifications on these. Actually, none of them. I figure if I'm gonna watch them, I'm gonna sit down and look at my subscriptions page and look at them. They're all chronological. So until YouTube changes that, makes an
Right.
algorithm.
So they go Facebook on you and say,
Yeah,
I
but
think
right
you
now,
might like this better.
yeah, I just use the subscriptions page and you can look at what's come out. So I don't have any notifications on that. That's ridiculous.
Oh, I have a few. Hi, cat. Meow.
Cats are they're lonely. I'm the only one here.
They're telling us the show is coming to an end because we're going to end with our question of the week. If you could shrink yourself to the size of an ant, what
Mhm.
scientific phenomena would you want to explore? I wouldn't want to get near any ants.
No, no. What scientific earthquakes?
As an ant?
No, I don't think. Actually, I don't know. Would it be that bad if for an ant?
Scientific I'm gonna have to think about that one.
Yeah.
Well, would you have a better chance of surviving because you're really small? You'd fit between the cracks of the falling debris.
I survived and somebody steps on you because they're stumbling. I don't know.
Is there an assumption that you could eventually get big again?
Oh, no, don't go there. Just take the question for what it is. Don't start. Don't do hypotheticals with it. Can I come back?
I wouldn't want to explore fire. Oh, I know.
What's that?
surface tension of water.
Yeah, but
You could walk across like one of those skater bugs.
yeah, but what happens when you get pulled into the water and you can't get out because the surface tension's too much? You can't get out of the water.
Oh, you can get
Drop-
out. The bugs, like bees land on the water, take a drink, and fly away.
Yeah.
They're not stuck. The surface tension holds them up. That'd be mine. I'm
Okay.
going there.
All right.
Okay. Hopefully, I'll remember that next week when you ask me again.
Yeah.
Jared says, I want to reenact Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
With the cereal?
With
the
the
big cereal
lawnmower?
bowl.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want to do that.
No. Hey, I'll test the tension of a slingshot. There you go.
How?
Oh no.
What
One
would?
thing I don't want to test is the focus point of the sun through a magnifying glass.
No. That's why I said fire wouldn't be good either.
Oh, look, it's so bright. What's going on? Yeah.
Gone.
Right.
All right. That takes us to the end of the show. So thank you very much, Craig, for helping out with all that other stuff. If you want to get in touch with us, listeners, 707-530-2428 is where you can do that. 707-530-CHAT. Or send us an email, technorama@chuckchat.com. We'd love to hear from you. You can also find us wherever you find popular podcasts and on Facebook and X, formerly known as Twitter, YouTube, etc., etc., etc. Tell everyone you know. Don't just tell a friend now. We're upping the
Yeah.
game. Tell everyone you know about Technorama.
Even
And,
your neighbor's dog or my stupid cat back here.
Jared says, thanks, guys. Hey, thanks. Thanks for sticking around with us, having
Yeah,
fun,
thanks.
hanging out. Till next time, we wish you all the best, and Craig's going to give you a binary high five.
All right, 101.
Bye.
See ya.
Big riff at the end. There it is. The audio recording is done, and we are going to stop the video stream while we go record the Patreon show. So thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Wish you all the best, and we'll catch you in about a week. I think we're doing a show next week. No reason not to, right?
I think so. And then
Yes.
after that is our 19-year special.
Are we doing a special? I'm not sure
Well-
how we're doing that, but
No, it's special. We're doing it. We'll do it at your house or
May
something.
1st is our 19-year anniversary. We started
right.
this show May 1st, 2005. Our kids grew up and left house while we were doing a podcast.
All of our kids, between the both of us.
Sounds like we were negligent parents when you say it that way.
Yeah.
All right. Take care, everybody.
I'm going to greener pastures.
Bye.
Bye.